Hello, Mama Borg here coming at you from my home office. Finally able to record what I wanted to last Friday. Today I just want to go over your meta reflection assignment. Some people are still struggling with that and had some questions about it. This is the PDF that I posted on your Google Classroom page, on your course web page on D2L, for those of you who are in my English 101 class. But I'm just going to go over it again because people like videos and a lot of people still have questions, and I'm hoping this will answer some of your questions in the meantime. So, the meta reflection is something you're going to do every single Friday for remote learning. All students are going to be doing a meta reflection assignment in English 2 and in English 101 classes. English 101 is going to be a little bit different. But this is a really good activity just to kind of reflect on and think about all of the different kinds of learnings that you've done over the course of the week. It's really good in particular for math classes, to reflect on your learning in math classes. It can really help you reinforce your learning in math classes. Meta reflection, it is a reflection about reflecting. Meta thinking is thinking about thinking. And so it's kind of nesting dolls of reflection all built into one. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the waffle in the upper right corner of your computer. You're going to click a new doc. You're going to choose a blank document, and you're going to give your title. You're going to give your document a title. I want you to be very specific here. You're going to start with your last name. You're going to call it Meta Reflection, and then you're going to give the class hour. This is really, really important because if you just start typing your name, the file will save as your name. Every single time you go to save a file as your name, sometimes it overwrites a previous file. So make sure that you're giving it a very, very specific name here. In this case, I've chosen Vanderford Fieldsenzen, Meta Reflection 7th Hour, and will also show up in the tab once it's kind of hit. Put your name info in the upper left-hand corner. For all assignments in all classes, don't just start with the assignment. Always put your name, the teacher's name, the class, and the date. Those 4 pieces of information should always be present. First thing that you write down in all of your work. Don't put it in the header. Just when your document starts, where your cursor goes on the left side, your name, the teacher's name, the class, and the date. Once you've done that, skip a line, go to center alignment, and give your meta reflection a title. You can simply call it meta reflection right now if you want to. I'm saying my meta reflection is meta awesome. Skip a line, put Friday's date, which would have been 8/28/2020, and week 2. You can invert this too. You can say week 2 and the date. I'm not going to be too terribly specific about that. Just as long as you got the date and what week it is, because I'm going to be counting these up week by week. We're calling it week 2 because it's week 2 of the semester, but it's your first entry for the meta reflection. I get that might be a little confusing. So skip a line and then go back to left alignment. A lot of times students will forget this and they just have all of their document will be center aligned or block aligned and it looks really funky. So make sure that you go back over and left justify your text and just go start writing to your future self. I want you to write to your future self at the end of the quarter or your future self at the end of the semester. And what you're going to write about is how has your learning gone over the last 2 weeks of this semester. We started with this hybrid mode. We've extended the hybrid mode, the A-B schedule split through the first 9 weeks. All remote learners have chosen to go for the full 9 weeks. And so I just kind of talk about how has learning gone these past 2 weeks. What's been good, what's been a struggle, what has worked, what hasn't worked. Try to focus both on the good and the bad. There have been a lot of frustrations, but a lot of students have said things like they really like the smaller class size. They really like remote days whenever they can just kind of work at their own pace. Some people are struggling with getting a schedule on remote days. And so kind of write about the good and the bad simultaneously. When you get done with your document, go up to Tools at the top and click word count to figure out what is your word count for the document. Not character, I don't need to know the individual letters, but what's the word count for your document? Usually these range between 150 and 250 words. I'm not going to be super specific with that right now just because it's our first time trying and I really kind of care about format initially with the first couple of entries that we do. I will always want you to put your word count underneath the date and then I will want you to update that every single time you write. That's going to be important. It's going to give me an average of roughly how many words are people writing in their entries week by week. And this is significant and important in both English 2 classes and then also the 101. This is super important in 101 in particular. So you're writing for yourself. I will be grading it, but you are writing for yourself. So it's okay to use slang, emojis, wonky grammar. This does not have to be a polished piece of writing. I say write in your own voice. Remember in class today with my voice amplifier and constantly being distracted, I sound like the dog from Up, like squirrel, squirrel, all over the place. So you write for yourself. As a quick reminder though, as a state mandated reporter, I do have to tell if you write about someone hurting you, you hurting someone else, or you hurting someone else, or you hurting yourself. So those are 3 things. So suicidal ideation, someone hurting you, you hurting someone else. I do have to tell on those things. But everything else, you know, if you're complaining about family situations, or if you're complaining about school, I'm not going to go and narc on you on those kinds of things. So, but I do have to tell on certain kinds of situations. When you're done in Google Docs, just make sure that it is finally saved. And then you're basically done. We're not turning these in this week. I don't want you to submit these. I'm still grading emails from last week. I thought I'd be done with those already. So just hold on to these. I'm going to check these periodically. This is work that will be going on in the background. If you don't do these on Friday, you might end up screwed later on because I will be calling for these randomly. And so if you think you can suddenly go and catch up on all of them at the last minute, that's not a good idea. But make sure it's saved, and you're done. Borg Pool is proud of you and you're finished. Now, if you want to be a little extra, it'd be really, really cool if you start saving these in a class file that you can organize all of your stuff in. This is optional. You don't have to do it. We will be doing this later on though. So what you should do is go ahead and move this to a new folder. Go to File, click on Move, and then you can create a new folder. I would suggest you create a folder and call it English 2 or English 101 or Honors English 2, whatever class you have with me. And boom, move the file there and you're done. Again, hearts, Borg Pool is proud of you again. So that's the hard and fast explanation of what I want you to do for your meta reflections. Again, not submitting them at this time. It's a video I wanted to have on Friday, but I'm just now getting to it. So remember, be safe, make smart choices, and I like you.